Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd and continuing our stitch along with the pullover sweater for men. So we're moving on to the back panel section. We've already completed this right here. We've shaped the armhole and now we're ready to move up. So what we need to do now is to go back and forth in the rows until it either hits 25 inches, 25 and a half, 26, 26 and a half, or 26 and a half. So you're going to choose the size that you're going to do. So this will be the distance then that will take us right up for the back. It'll take us right to here in the pattern right here. And then we're going to finish off and do the shoulder work after. So you're currently right here and you're going to shoot your way up. So let's take our project and let's get ourselves to that moment. So picking up our panel right where we are, so we're no longer going along the armholes, we're leaving that empty. So when we get to the other side, we're going to stop right here and leave that empty as well. So we're just going to continue along, and I'd recommend still chain 1 and half double crochet in each of the stitches. So I need you to go back and forth till you get to the height that you are looking for your size. So it's either 25, 25 and a half, 26, 26 and a half, or 26 and a half. So the two sizes at the end have the same measurement. So because I'm doing the medium size, I'm only going to 25 and a half. You have to make sure that you end on the wrong side. So it's like the same rule before. So we have to make sure that you're ending exactly where you need to in order to make that happen. So make sure you end on the wrong side. On the back panel, we've got ourselves all the way to the spot right here. So we just got to do a little bit more on both of the sides here in order to make that work, to get that indentation just to be slightly different. The front one will be a lot more droopier, so coming down more of the chest. So let's move along and let's do your shoulders. So for the back panel, you got yourself either to 25, 25 and a half, 26, or 26 and a half. So now we're going to start shaping. So we don't want to fasten off. We want it to end on the wrong side. And so when we start the first side here, it's going to be the right side. And you can see that we just have a little bit of instruction to do. And then we're going to fasten off and then do the left shoulder. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do the bottom edging, which will make a nice slip stitch at the very end where we started. So let's begin the right shoulder shaping. Let's go through the right shoulder. We've not fastened off our work. We're just going to continue. So we're going to do your chain 2, in my case it's chain 1, and 1 single crochet in each of the next stitches. So in this case, I would look at this number, the way that I'm doing it is 12, 13, 14, 15, or 17. So once you join it, or sorry, once you chain 1, then just a half double crochet either 12, 13, 14, 15, or 17. In my case, it'll be 13. So they have chain 2 counts as a stitch, as you recall. So that one counts plus then this number, which is the actual same number as here. In the next row, what we're going to do is a decrease just for one time, and we're just going to eliminate a stitch just to create like an indentation, and then we're going to work until the project is either 26 and a half or 26 inches, 26 and a half, 27, 27 and a half, or 27. And then that will be finishing that side. This is going to go relatively quick, and then we're going to then move to the left, and what we do for the amount of rows on this one will match it to the other side as well. So let's begin to do that next. So let's begin. I'm looking at the right side of the work. The stitch marker is up towards me. You cannot see it off camera because it's so far away. So what I'm going to do is just chain 1 and half double crochet the number. So I'm looking at the second numbers that are in there. It's either 12, 13, 14, 15, or 17. In my case, it'll be 13. So start with the first one and count the number that you want. In my case, it'll be 13. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so there is my size, the medium. So there's a total of 13 stitches across. If it was the small, it'd be 12, it'd be one less. And if it was the other sizes, it'd either be 14, 15, or 17. Once you've got this far, you're going to turn the work, and we're going to do row number 2. So I've turned the work, and we're going to just chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet the first. The next 2 stitches are going to be coming together as a 2 together half double crochet. So you're just going to wrap the hook and into the next stitch, pull through, wrap the hook again, and go into the second stitch over. Then yarn over, pull through everything. That's a 2 together half double crochet. And now all you need to do now is half double crochet the remaining stitches across. Okay, so you don't need to count, you just got to do it because you're going towards the outside shoulder. Okay, go right into that final one and then turn your work back to where you were. Okay, so you have a slight indentation coming in now, and now we have to work even, so 1 half double crochet in each of the stitches until we get to a certain height. So I'm going to do 1 row just without measuring first, and you're going to just chain up 1, use that first one. So you're just going to half double crochet yourself all the way across. And so you're going to go back and forth until you hit the height that you need. It's either 26, 26 and a half, 27, 27 and a half, or 27. So what I'm taking a mental note, after I take a measurement, I'm going to see how many rows that I actually added above the neckline here so that I can make sure that I do the same amount of rows on the other side for balance. So just go back and forth until you get to the height that you need, and I'll be right back. Okay, my project is now a total of 26 and a half from the base to this moment. So this here is showing me that I had to add 1 row, 2, and 3. So 3 rows gets me to that amount. So in different patterns that they have, there could have been more rows if it was a larger size. So in my case, it ends pretty quickly. So I'm going to just fasten off this yarn, and I'm going to get myself back to the right side of the work. So get that stitch marker to face you, and we're going to then begin the other shoulder of the left. When we start the left, you're going to have the information that you see here. So it says skip the first 23 stitches left of the shoulder. So what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is that I'm going to look at the edging just in case something goes wrong. I've done one of these before, not this particular pattern, where my shoulder was out for whatever reason. I was missing a stitch and it looks really obvious. What I would consider doing is that we knew that this was a number of stitches that we started with. In my case, it was a total of 13. So it could be 12, 13, 14, 15, or 17. So if I want to match, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to count to the 13th over from the edge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. That's going to be my start. So yours might only be 12. It could be a little bit more. And what I want to do is start there and work my way over. Therefore, I know that there's going to be 13 stitches on this side, 13 on this. So depending on what size you're doing, it allows you to have that balance. And that's where I'm going to begin. So for the left, I'm just going to pull it up like this. So I'm just going to remember it's there and put that onto my hook, attach, chain 1, and I am going to use that stitch plus then the other 12. So that will give me the number 13. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So you could have had only 12, you could have had 14, 15, or 17. But now that we know that we've marked this, we know that we're good to go. So what we need to do is a 2 together somewhere close to here, I'm going to just change the positioning based on where I'm seeing it here in the pattern. And we're going to turn our work, and we need to do a decrease just on this first row, and then you can work even up to get to the other one. Remember though, on the last one, we only saw that there was 3 rows. So we have 1 more on mine and then 1 more to finish. So let's turn the work and begin. So what I'm going to have you do, regardless on how many there is, I'm going to have you pay attention to the last 3 stitches. And so we're going to start, you're on the side edge of the shoulder area. So just chain up 1 and start half double crocheting across. I'm going to change the location of the half double crochet 2 together by 1 position. So it kind of looks like the other side. So increasing on an edge or decreasing on an edge is really obvious, but if you just move it in 1 stitch, it looks a lot better. So that's just my experience. So I have 1, 2, and 3 stitches left. So the next 2 I am going to put in as a 2 together, half double crochet. So just go in and then just go into your second one over, and then 2 together, and then half double crochet your final. And it won't look like it's actually decreasing a bit until you start doing the next row. So what we have to do is just turn your work and then work up an even. In my case, there was only 3 rows of this. So this is 1, 2, and so I just got to go across 1 more row, and then my version is done. Okay, so let's do that. So let's turn your work. So just chain up 1 and begin to half double crochet across. Oops. So let's begin, just chain up 1 and then just half double crochet across. So you'll just do as many half double crochet rows that you need to get to the height that you had, but look at the other shoulder to determine how many rows that was. Okay, so the back panels generally on this stuff is a lot less work, because it goes up higher behind your shoulder, or over your shoulders basically. Okay, so you're just right at the end, and in my case this is where I'm done, and so I'm just going to trim my yarn, and we just still have to move on to the bottom section now and to finish off this panel completely. So we have both of our shoulders complete, and let's just quickly review. A way to cross-reference that you've done it right, the tail end should be on the same side. So you see how it's over here? It should be over here for the second one. If this one is over here, it means that there's probably a row added or a row missing. So it gives you an indication, and you can see the slight dip here, and this will be more defined when we get to the neck. So let's turn the whole project, and we're going to have the right side facing up. We're going to grab our smaller crochet hook, and we need to finish the bottom edge right here. So make sure the right side is facing up and grab the smaller hook. And if you use a different color like I did, just grab that color and let's go. You're just going to create a slip knot, and we're just going to do a slip stitch across, starting in the very last one. Okay, we'll worry about our tail ends later, and just pull that through and through. And all you're just going to do, and you just got to take some care with it, just slip stitch across. Now slip stitching can be relatively tight, so you just want to just be kind of relaxed about it and just slip stitch along the side, and this will make the edging look more finished. Okay, this is the bottom edging, and once this is done, then the whole panel is completely done and you're ready to move on to the next panel, which would be the front. So I'm coming very close to the end here, and I've slip stitched myself across, and then the game ends. So I'm just going to trim my yarn. This panel is completely done now, and so you can move on to your front panel next, and everything should be good to go. So I'll see you in the next video as you're carrying along in this stitch along.